Hello, welcome to a new video where I show you how I created an opera mockup. An event agency called me. They had a customer who wanted to have one female and one male singer sing few parts of operas. So they needed a version without the vocals, just with the orchestra. And I tried three tools: Audio Dynamics, Isotope RX8 and Spectral Layers 1. They worked sometimes and sometimes they didn't work. So the next solution was I create a mockup. At first I had to create a tempo track because I wanted to play, record and read the score, and sometimes want to quantize and so on. And an orchestra in opera is playing very expressive and very free. So there is no click. So you get a lot of tempo changes. Because of this, I loaded in the reference track as a WAV file, heard it, and created a cut at every bar. But sometimes this has not been detailed enough. So sometimes I created a cut at every hit. And sometimes I had to be more detailed. So this has been part 1. Then came part 2. At part 2, I had to move every part from the ruler to the right place. And this took a long time because, sometimes it's been the bar, sometimes the hit, sometimes more. And sometimes I listened to the original and it didn't match, because sometimes it's been very difficult to hear where is the orchestra playing the next hit or the next bar, because not all the instruments didn't do it at the same part. And the vocals, so the opera singer, has been so loud, not the whole time, but very often, that I couldn't really hear the orchestra. So this has been part 1. Part 2, create a tempo track. For this, I love the timer feature in Cubase for creating a tempo track. I activate the grid, choose events, and then I go to one bar or to one hit, and then I move it to the right place, to the next event, and then it snaps to the next event. Sometimes it's just one bar, sometimes 2 bars, sometimes it's a quarter note or a triple, something detailed. It depends on how much tempo changes are inside this part. And this can take a lot of time, but it is worth it. When you want to know more about this method, I've got here a video at the top where you see 3 methods to get the tempo out of the song, and this is method number 3. At first, let's listen to the beginning. And now we have a look at the click. So I love the click pattern feature in Cubase. It's here beside the metronome click. And when I click at this E, we can see the settings, common, click sounds, and click patterns. So this is German, but doesn't matter. Here are the click patterns. And here you can delete some and create your own pattern. Now let's listen to the normal click. And where can you choose the click pattern? When you can't see it, go to here to the 3 points and hold the mouse. Now go to the right and you can see the click pattern. And now you can see it bigger. So at first I go to default. And for me, it's a little bit too slow. So I'll show you the score I got. And it's very funny because sometimes the notes are playing very fast in 16ths or something like this, but the counting is very low or slow. You see, we've got at the beginning very slow notes. So this can be very difficult to play to this. And for example, we've got this fast notes and here and here. So this slow tempo has been very difficult to play. And so I created a few other patterns, and here we've got the double tempo. And the great thing is you can create your own pattern and edit the pattern inside this pattern editor. So let's listen to this. Awesome. And now we can change the sound. Or let's do this so we don't hear anything. And I created another preset, this one. So this helped me a lot to play to the original, to the reference track. Okay, now we just want to see all the tricks that are used here. So I just want to see all the tricks with information between the locators. And boom, these are all the tracks I used. So let's do this. And now we'll have a look at the strings. So when we look at the score, we can see here that we got trills and the violas and the cello. And they are going on here and the next bar and the next bar. And they go to here. And these are not just trills. You can see they are not a half tone or a whole tone. They are bigger. Okay, so my go-to libraries for trills is Symphonic Sphere by Orchestral Tools. And now I go to the viola, and we got the trills orchestrator. Let's see whether the keyboard is working. Yes. And at a lot of libraries, you just have the half tone and the whole tone. So this one and this one. And you got two different patches and you got to switch via key switch or a controller. Here, it is much easier. Just play the two different notes, but don't play them at the same time. When I play them at the same time, nothing happens. But now I do a little rest between the two keys. And now it's going further. So you got much more than, I guess, another library. And I love this one because you can play the trills. And another great thing is you can play more trills than just one. So I play now 1, 2, 3, 4 different keys. This has been the library I used for the trills. Let's listen to the violas. Here they are. And I did the same with the cello. And sometimes you can hear the space between the new chords. You can't play legato because you have always to trigger the keys new. So you can see that I, not here, but here at the beginning. Here I start at this point, a few ticks later, a few ticks later. And I wanted to fill this rest. So I used not Iceni, this wrong. I used Albion Lecria. This has been a library for playing very soft and low keys, not low, soft keys. This patch is playing the same keys. But you can see we've got some overlappings, for example, here. So when I play this stuff, there shouldn't be so many rests. And now it's a little bit smoother. So this has been part 1, and at part 2 I'll show you more of the libraries and the reverb and the settings I've used and what have been the challenge at the second opera. See you the next time. Bye.